Former Assemblyman Jack Ciattarelli thinks 2025 is his year to move into Drumthwacket, New Jersey's governor's mansion. And you didn't think I knew the name of Drumthwacket, did you?
Not all do, nor can they pronounce it.
So here's the question. I think one of the biggest problems that people are faced in New Jersey, especially those who come into New York City, is NJ Transit. I wonder what you think should be done to fix transit in New Jersey, since many people feel that Governor Phil Murphy didn't do much.
Leadership matters, but I do want to form the Garden State Transportation Authority, put every one of our mass transit systems under one roof with one overseeing board. That means the Turnpike, the Parkway, New Jersey Transit, the Atlantic City Expressway, the gas tax revenues. Let's put it all under one roof. Let's get a new management structure there, and let's see what we can do. I'm positive we can fix it.
What a concept.
Other states do it. Why not us?
But so how, if you were to take the gas tax revenue, would that help to provide money for NJ Transit, or would you have to depend on the federal government to come through with something as well?
I'd rather that gas tax revenue never go into the black hole we know as the Trenton General Fund. Let's put it right into the Garden State Transportation Authority with the tolls that come from the Turnpike and the Parkway. And let's see what a new management structure can do.
So I guess the question is this: will you have difficulty getting the Senate and the Assembly in New Jersey to go along with that? Because obviously they're going to look at the gas tax revenue and say, hey, we want that for other things.
Not if I win a Republican majority. We flipped 8 seats back in 2021 with a little bit of wind in my face. We got some wind at our back now. If I flip 12 seats, we get something we haven't had in 30 years, Republican majority in the state legislature.
So another issue that people in New Jersey are worried about is property taxes. Now, I know you want to cut property taxes by 50%, which is really amazing. But right now there's a debate going on in Washington about the SALT tax, the deductibility of state and local taxes. How do you stand on that? Some people say the cap should be eliminated totally. Some people say there should be a limit as to how much people should deduct.
Two things. We can cut property taxes with a new school funding formula that provides a more equitable distribution of state aid to our school districts. I believe we can do that. Second thing is I'll advocate the president to bring back the SALT deduction. New Jersey is a donor state for decades. We send way more to Washington, D.C. than we get back. We want to be able to deduct our state and local taxes on our federal tax return.
But should there be still a cap? Or should there, I mean, you know, there's been talk in Washington that it should be a cap of, like, instead of 10,000 now, it should be 20,000 or 100,000. I mean, do you have a position on that, or do you think that there should be just total deductibility depending on what you pay?
My job is to advocate for the 9.5 million people who live in New Jersey. I want us to be able to deduct 100%, no cap.
Really? Even though I know the president's people have been talking about some kind of a cap because the whole deduction is so expensive?
You don't get unless you ask for, and you got to aim high.
You don't get unless you ask. A good concept. So how do you cut property taxes in half and still be able to have money for the important things that you need in New Jersey?
It's certainly going to be challenging, especially during these inflationary times and what mayors are up against with their local budgets. But at the very least, we often hear about the affordability crisis. Young people can't get a start there. Let's cap property taxes at 1% of the assessed value of the home, for example, for first-time home buyers, for the first 5 years so they can get started. And let's cap property taxes, freeze property taxes for anyone turning age 70 and older. Because we also hear about the older people who got to move out of the house that they raised their family in because they can no longer afford New Jersey. So at both ends there, I think we can do things to make New Jersey more affordable.
So how do you change the school tax formula? I mean, people are going to hear that and say, oh my God, my school taxes are going to, you know, my schools are going to get less money.
Not true. If I can reform the school funding formula with a more equitable distribution of $15 billion in state aid to our school districts, that doesn't necessarily have to happen. What we do need in New Jersey is every school district should be within a reasonable range. To me, that's $15,000 to $20,000 per student. I got some districts that get billions in aid, and their cost per pupil is $37,000, $38,000. That's not fair.
So how do you get the people who are getting more money to swallow the fact that they're going to get less money so that other districts can get what's fair?
What I would say to them is, why is it some districts do a good job of educating their students for $16,000 per pupil and you need $37,000? I think there's a lot of waste in those budgets, Marcia.
You know, you talk like a businessman.
That's what I am. Two-time business owner in New Jersey, employed New Jerseyans, created jobs, MBA, CPA. It's a unique background for a gubernatorial candidate.
You also want to have term limits for state lawmakers.
I think it's time.
But, you know, they have to vote for that. Would it have to be a constitution?
Well, the people have to vote for that, not the legislators.
So make the case to the people about why there should be term limits, and what do you feel is like the right amount of time? Is it 2 years, 4 years, 8 years, 12 years?
We term limit our governor.
That's 8 years.
Why not term limit our newly elected state legislators? We can grandfather the existing ones in, but newly elected ones for 8 years. I think turnover is good.
But the question is, some people would argue that turnover also can lend itself to less experienced lawmakers who may not know what they're doing.
Well, look at the condition New Jersey's in with people who have been there an awfully long time, and the Democrats have been in control for close to 3 decades. I think I can make a case for we need some new blood.
Are you saying that there's stagnation in Trenton and the New Jersey State House?
I'm saying we need some new ideas and people who aren't so worried about getting reelected.
Do you think that there's a lack of new ideas because people want to play it safe, or because it's difficult to get change in a political season?
All the above, but I'm not somebody that wants to go to Washington, and I'm not owned by the special interests, so change is easy for me, especially as an entrepreneur.
So basically you're saying you just want to be governor, you don't want to look at Senate, Congress, President, any of the above?
No, I've been asked to run for Congress. I've been asked to run for U.S. Senate. No one's asked me to run for president, but the answer is no. And I don't want to write a book either. I just want to fix the state we all love.
No book for you. Okay, so you are interested in education.
Very much so.
You've talked about changing the curriculum.
Need to, desperately.
You talk about making it age appropriate. Tell me what that means.
Well, first thing we need to do is get back to focusing on critical life skills. There's been significant learning loss because our current governor shut down the schools for 2 full years. New Jersey has fallen behind on the national report cards. We need a high impact curriculum. What does that mean? If you're behind grade level, in critical skills like reading, writing, and math, that's all we're going to focus on for the next 1 or 2 market periods to get you back up to speed. The empirical data is pretty clear. You come out of 8th grade behind in reading, writing, math, you're going to be underemployed the rest of your life. That's not good for the individual or for society. But we also need an age-appropriate curriculum where other subject matter is concerned.
Like what?
I don't believe we should be teaching gender ID and sexual orientation in kindergarten. I don't think we should be talking about explicit sex acts, 12-year-olds. I'm all for sex education, but there's an appropriate age at which to do that.
But also, you know, you've also, when you talk about education, you talk about having more parent involvement. What do you mean by that? I mean, what kind of a role do you see for parents?
When we're outside the realm of reading, writing, and math, I think that's where parents need to be involved with their local school board in deciding what it is we're going to teach at what grade level. Right now, we have an age-inappropriate curriculum, in my opinion. So that's been mandated, by the way, by Trenton and the current governor.
So there's a lot of concern about cuts coming from Washington that are going to affect budgets in the metropolitan area, specifically the Garden State. How do you feel about that, and how will you head them off? We're talking about Medicaid cuts, Medicare cuts, Social Security cuts. People are worried, especially Medicaid recipients, about the fact that their aid could be cut and it could really adversely affect them.
The president is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. I do think it's a grand experiment. Let's see how it goes. But again, my job is to advocate for 9.5 million New Jerseyans. And if we think that these cuts are being very, very harmful and state government can't pick up the slack, it's my job to speak up.
But see, the thing is, you know, you have a situation where you want to cut taxes, you want to make sure you're going to make up for federal aid. Where does the money come from?
I've got to grow the economy, Marcia. Governor Murphy has raised taxes every single year because his economic policies haven't done well for our economy in New Jersey. So I got to grow the economy. That means more jobs, more people employed, more people spending. That increases income and sales taxes. That's what I need to do, is grow our economy. The fiscal mess we're in New Jersey, you can't cut your way out, nor can you tax your way out.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it right there for now, but our conversations continue right after the show on our streaming channel, CBS News New York. We are back with Jack Ciattarelli. It's the time where we ask all these questions you never thought you were going to get asked before. For example, what's the best vacation you've ever taken?
Oh, at the Jersey Shore. We love the Jersey Shore. Come on. Surf City on LBI. There's many beautiful beaches all along our Jersey Shore, but we love Surf City. And by the way, thank you for pronouncing Ciattarelli so perfectly.
I practiced. So, how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
My goodness. Organized, dedicated, very determined. I think that was 4.
That's okay, I'll give you that. Which of your parents do you think you are most like?
My mom.
Why?
Paid attention to detail, very, very determined, hated to lose.
Aha. hated to lose. You must have really hated coming in within 3 points of Governor Murphy last time.
Well, I tried to be graceful about it out there in public, but behind the scenes, I was gritting my teeth. It was awfully close, and we were in it to win it.
It was really a record closeness, as a matter of fact. So how did you celebrate your last birthday?
Oh, with family, of course. My 4 adult children, we had a grand old time.
What's the biggest challenge young adults face today?
Getting started. And many think they can't because of the cost of living today. So, and I want people to believe they can achieve their American dream in New Jersey again. Every generation of Ciattarelli has. I want to make sure the next generation feels the same way.
So does that mean that you need to grow the economy? Does that mean you have to reduce taxes? How do you give somebody that first start, that best start that they can get started in jobs, home, whatever?
One thing we could do is make the first year of W-2 wages after high school, after college, tax-free.
Seriously?
Sure. One thing we can do is cap your property taxes for first-time home buyers who have income below a certain level. There's things that we can do to help people get started. And we do need more affordable housing. We just need to be really smart about where we put it.
So what's your advice to people starting out as young adults in New Jersey?
Hey, this is a place where you can achieve your American dream. New Jersey provides a whole lot of opportunities. We've got mountains, we've got valleys, we've got Jersey Shore, we've got magnificent suburbs, and under Governor Ciattarelli, we're going to have vibrant cities again.
So what does MAGA mean to you?
It means people who are very, very passionate about what they want America to be, the America they remember. But I think what makes America great, we get up and we go to work every single day.
So is bipartisanship dead?
No, absolutely not. Leadership matters, and I am very competitive. This is a competition. We're in it to win it. But the day after, no matter who wins, we shake hands and get to work on behalf of the people.
So if you could have one superpower, what do you think it would be?
Wow, as governor? What would it be? To stop all the overdevelopment in our suburbs on day one.
Wow, that's great. So if you are elected governor, what is the one big idea you would have that you think would make the lives of New Jersey residents better?
Not if, when I get elected, Marcia.
Okay, when you get elected, what's the one big idea you're going to...
To make New Jersey more affordable, and we do that by lessening the tax burden. Our individuals and our businesses face the highest overall tax burden in the country. But let me say one other thing. If President Trump's not successful in getting rid of congestion pricing, I'm sorry, but every New York plate that comes through the tunnels or over the bridges in the morning in New Jersey, we're going to hit them with a congestion pricing fee.
Seriously?
I'm serious. We got to go to war.
So let me ask you, you're going to do the same amount that you would charge?
Absolutely. Why should New Jerseyans pay for the MTA? I'll get New Yorkers to pay for New Jersey Transit.
You just won the election. Transit people who come into New York are going to really love you for that idea, I think. Anyway, that's all the time we have. Thank you for joining me.
Marcia, thank you.
And thank you at home for joining us as well.